गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतः न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम। नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलास महामोह ग्राह ग्रासैक कर्मणे सविलास महामोह ग्राह ग्रासैक कर्मणे। We'll chant 136th verse, page 176. न वेत्ति लोको यावत्तम् साक्षात् तावच्च मत्कृतिम् धत्ते मनसि पश्चात्तु मायैष्यात्युपशाम्यते मायैषेत्युपशाम्यते प्रसरन्ति हि चोद्यानि जगद्वस्तुत्वमसि त्ववादिषु न चोदनीयं मायायाम् तस्याश्चोद्यैकरूपतः तस्याश्चोद्यैकरूपतः We were on the topic of Ishwar, which topic started from 104th verse and it will go up to 209th verse. And in this topic of Ishwar, as I mentioned, the purpose is to tell about the unconditioned nature of each Ishwar. So this subject will be Ishwar Brahma Vivek, whereas the earlier subject from 22nd verse to 103rd verse was Kutastha Jeev Vivek. And you can guess the third subject. Third subject will be Kutastha Brahmaikyam. And last will be the conclusion. So when Ishwar is being talked of, normally a layman thinks of Ishwar only as desire, doer of or maker of the world. At the most, he may think one who gives fruits of action, or one who is seeing me and guiding me, or maybe loving me. So, I am not saying that Ishwar is not right, that Ishwar is Vyavaharik Ishwar. That can be Sagun Nirakar Ishwar and Sagun Sakar Ishwar. But the Panchadashi Kar has discussed the Nirgun Nirakar Ishwar as well. And you heard that the Ishwar will be composed of Maya and the Brahman together, because he is the wielder of Maya. Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Wielder means in the presence of that consciousness only the Maya has status of appearance. So we had seen all these things in detail, what all schools of philosophy say about Ishwar. Then we came to the point that Ishwar cannot be the Nimitta Karan. 5 fallacies were there. Then we saw that Ishwar has to be Upadhan Karan. When this point of Upadhan Karan was said, then the Vedanta had given the shlok, if you remember, Mayam tu prakritim vidyat mainam tu maheshwaram. Then you had heard that pervaded by one reflected consciousness called Jeev. Similarly, at the cosmic level, the Hiranyagarbha, which is the Samashti Sukshma Sharir, the Virat, which is the Samashti Sthul Sharir, is pervaded by reflected consciousness of the Samashti So that reflected consciousness is not the reflected consciousness at individual level. Consciousness level, Jeev and Ishwar are same, but reflected consciousness level both are totally different. One is reflection in one antakaran, other is reflection in the whole world. And therefore, all our reflections are, all jivas are in Ishwar only. So after seeing that, the question arose that what is the reflecting medium? And that reflecting medium was called the Maya, which is the which has two lakshan. One, Maya is either unmanifest or manifest. Unmanifest Maya was mentioned by the word Mohatmak, and manifest was mentioned by the word Jada. So, Samashti Sukshma Sharir and Samashti Karan Sharir, Samashti Sukshma Sharir and Samashti Sthul Sharir were Jadatmak, and Samashti Karan Sharir is Mohatmak. So actually, Maya is the one which folds and unfolds. The now topic of Maya is being discussed in such elaboration that you will not find anywhere else such a question answer on Maya, which is again the beautiful work of Vidyaranya Swami, which we had been seeing, and this will be till 151st verse. From 125th verse to 151st verse. What is that topic says? So you heard Lakshana of Maya, characteristic where Jad and Mohatmak has been then status of Maya and the function of Maya. So function of Maya is to project and fold and unfold, project and resolve in the self only. What is important to know is the anirvachani nature of Maya is being now again taken into serious discussion. When we see the world as real. There are few reasons for that. One reason is that there is an order in the world. There is a cause and effect in the world. I see the laws have its own order. And therefore there is a sense of reality because everything is very systematic. But another very big reason is there. When I see anything repeatedly, so there is sense of reality. It is easy to say dream is false because I will not see the dream. Dream is falsified. I wake up and I don't see that dream wife, dream child, dream house. It is immediately negated by another experience and I cannot get it back. So what you saw, presence of which and the absence of which you see, something was absent, dream was absent, then it came and again it was absent, so it is easy to know that it was false. But when we wake up, so continuously we see the same people, same house, same body of hearts, same problems. And therefore it is difficult to say that waking state is false. If supposing the waking state also had changed, I got up and I saw a new wife is there, Anyway, that fortune is not there. Her new husband is there. So that that is not there. Then I could have said that husband was false or that wife is false. A new house is there. Every day I see new house, new job, new wife, new husband, new child. Then while I am seeing that present husband and wife, I'll say, anyway, you'll be falsified after a few hours. So it will be easier for us to believe that the world is false. But every day of my life, I see the same sun, same moon, same earth, same trees. And therefore it is difficult to say that it is false for a layman, I mean. And therefore, interesting thing I'll tell you, out of the 9 philosophies, only 8 philosophies other than Vedanta, none of them said that world is false. Even Sankhya and Yoga, who are very close to Vedanta, they also said that the world is true. Only one said that the world is false, it is Vritti Rupa. Tell me which one? Both. So 2 have said that world is false. But because of this, the world is true. Anyway, but I say, because we see the world in a very limited frame of time. If I see 1,000 years, in the frame of 1,000 years I see the world. And I see, supposing I know my all births, and there I see for 70 years, this person lived, then 20 years, then 30 years. One set of relations came, other set came, third set came. If you see from a very big vista, then you will say that these relations are false or these bodies were false. These achievement failures were all false because I have a bigger vista to see that. But because we see in a very small frame, it appears as very true. And therefore, seeker has to train his mind to see in a very big vista of any situation. Any situation should not be seen in a very limited time frame. I always say, please develop the vision of complete viewing. I see the incident in the whole cosmos. What is the incident's value? This is called seen in Desh. And see in at least 1,000, 2,000 years the same incident or the same success. And see the incident or in front of all objects, this is also one of the object. If you develop this habit, you will see the mithyatva or negligibility of that and falseness of that. But we see at a very limited space, time and conclude this is bad, this is good, this is giving me pain, this is giving me sorrow, this is giving me joy. And that is where we get attached to. And we suffer. So, are you getting my point? Why world appears real? And third biggest reason why the world appears real is because of our non-thinking. Because of our non-inquiring, which is done here. Because I have not given sufficient vichar, and this vichar is being done here. What is said here? That Maya is swatantra and aswatantra, independent and dependent both. It is dependent on its existence, but as far as showing, it is free to show anything. You heard that. It shows the trio of Akhand Brahma, shows the trio of Jagat, Jeev and Ishwar, where neither are there in their conditioning, without changing the kutastha. One important point came yesterday that Maya, somebody said, how can it show where there is no Jeev? Only this is where expertise of Maya is there. Durghatak ek vidhai nam. There is one Maya Panchakam of Shankaracharya Bhagwan. And there he says, Aghatan Ghatana Patiyasi Maya. Maya's expertise is to show something which is not there. And then example was given. What example was given? Example was that water has the nature of flowing, fire has the nature of heat, etc. And so in this whole self, Maya has shown Desh, Kal, Vastu, people. And inside it has shown thoughts that I am important, I am happy, I am sad. Everywhere Maya has shown something which is not there. And then bole, acha, it can show anything. Yes, it can show anything. And that is called manifestation. Not create. Please see my word. I'm saying it shows, doesn't create. Moment you say creation, whole thing will be absurd. And as long as lokaha yavat tam means the Maya Dishtan Sakshi, na vetti, unless one is knowing the Kutastha, he will be bewildered and deluded by the show of Maya. He will become a victim of that show. He will not be in the audience and see the Maya. He will become one of the product of Maya. He is the, people say also, भाई हम संसारी हैं, हम क्या करें, दुखी सुखी होते रहते हैं, बेटा हमारा ही है, अब ये जाएगा बेटा तो रोना तो आता ही है, स्वामी जी भी आप human beings, after all, my child has gone to study to America, so still I cry, I miss him a lot, still. अब वेदांत ठीक है लेकिन हम तो संसारी हैं. Vedanta is okay. And then people go to this, well, it is easy to say. But so difficult to live without. In our house only, our two are living now. एक मुर्गा मुर्गी रह गए. So सब चले गए. अब किसके लिए खाना बनाए, फॉर whom to cook? ऐसे ही कुछ बना लेते हैं, खिचड़ी बना लेते हैं, दलिया बना लेते हैं. ये दलिया पता नहीं कहाँ से आया है. एनीवे, सो आज था क्या दलिया? एनीवे, सो दलिया बना लेते हैं. क्या करें अब? दुखी हो जाता है मन. अब कितना सत्संग कितना करें, सल कर लेते हैं सत्संग. ये सब देख रहे हो माया का क्या खेल है. ना कोई बेटा है, ना किसी का पिता है, ना माँ है. Where is the father and son, mother and daughter in the Kutastha? Again, Maya has created everything which is not there. And I keep on imagining. You suffer from your imagination, no problem. You can continue. But the Maya's work is here, new word will be, that word indescribable will be there. Anirvachani word will be there. Anirvachani word is now being explained to tell, dhyan dena, Anirvachani word will be explained to tell the non-mithya nature of Maya. When I say mithya, please note, mithya means something which is experienced but not provable. It is not proved but experienced. There is no proof for its reality. Experientiability without reality is mithyatva. I cannot prove it, although I can see it. So this is the Maya's work. So there are few words used in the scripture. One is called Mitya, other is called Anirvachaniyam for Maya only. Mithya means what? That something is seen where it is not. Anirvachaniyam means effect is there but cause cannot be proved. There is no cause which you can really ascertain why. But effect is there. That is called anirvachaniyam, inexplicable. Inexplicable means you cannot prove the cause of that. इसको समझ लेना please. But it is experienced and it is giving sorrows and joys, everything is fine. But it has no status of it be born from something. There is no birth giver. I got a child which has no mother and father. But it is creating lot of havoc. But there is no mother and father of that child. There is no parents. In the form, he cannot write the name of his father. Neither he can write the date of birth. Neither he can write the place of birth. But it is going to give a lot of sorrow. So this is called indescribability. Anirvachaniyatvam. I hope you are understanding. Anything, dhyan dena. So one word I use, Mithya. Other word I use, anirvachaniyam. Anirvachaniyam. Here chamatkriti word has been mentioned. Chamatkar. Chamatkar means miracle. Something you see, it was a miracle to see him singing. I was surprised, I was amazed. Amazed means you see effect, you don't know how can he sing such beautiful. How can he sing such beautiful? Where your intellect collapses to find a cause. Then you say it was a miracle. He is a miracle worker. It's a miracle if he works. How can he work? You are not able to find the cause of something, and you know there can be no cause, then you call it a miracle. Then you call it a miracle. Actually, miracle is a very good word, but actually it is mithya. It's a mithya only. You are giving a very glamorous word called miracle. But miracle is mithya only. It is anirvachani only. Anirvachani is a little academic word, or it is depicting the cause and effect relation is there. Mithya is from the angle of adhishthan. It is absent but seen. So all three are indicating the same understanding from three angles. So Maya is a mithya thing. How do you know like that? Because when I see the world, it is the product of Maya. So world I see, dhyan dena, world I see. So I cannot say that it is false. It is not existence because it is seen. So you cannot say it is non-existent like the horn of the hare. But I cannot say it is existent because it gets negated, everything is modifying here. So neither it can be existent, neither it can be non-existent. Neither it can be mixture of existence and non-existence. Because existence and non-existence cannot mix, they belong to two different levels of reality. So it is neither sat, neither asat, neither sat, asat. And therefore, but still it is there, therefore it will be called as inexplicable. I hope you are understanding this point. Please be clear. I will try to illustrate with due examples. Just hold on with patience. Now, this Jagad Vastuvadi, Somebody said, by okay, you'd say Maya. But I feel the world has come, where it has come from, who made, when was made. So Vidyananda Swami said, Dekho, first of all, before asking the question about who made the world, how is it, don't ask the question. I'm going to question the very existence of the world. I'm not going to answer your questions. But the very source of that question, that world, is this itself is a question. Question mark. I hope you're understanding. There are two kinds of questions. But my very, very big question is, really this world can be made? Because the one who is going to make that world called Maya itself is not there. Itself is a Mitya thing. How can something real come out of something which is indescribable or a Mitya thing? This is the next point, which I have already read. This is one. I hope the last verse is clear, 136. So, yavat lokaha tam means that Maya adhishthanam na vetti. So, tavat sakshat chamatkartim dhatte Maya dhatte manasi. That extent Maya will show its mithya nature. Full stop. Paschat tu Maya. After that you see badit and therefore you are not bewildered. Now next question. I hope you are getting my point. Question is important. Now the one Purupaksh came, and what he said, he's called as Jagad Vastuvadi. Jagad Vastutuvadi. They say world is a reality. He said, you brought Maya, an indescribable world for the Maya, because you don't have any answer. Therefore you are bringing the Maya's indescribable nature. Yes. Because you want to run away from Maya's discussion, therefore you are using the word anirvachaniya or inexplicable word. He said, no. He said, but my question is, what is world? Where from world has come? How did it come? Who made the world? Why so many lokas are there in the world? This is the Purupaksh question is there. So here Vidyananda Swami said, your questions will answer later on. Let us find out where the world which you are talking is there or not there. It is just like that. Somebody said, where from that bhoot had come yesterday night, some ghost had come. I heard the footsteps of that ghost. I was hearing, I was awake, but I didn't have the guts to open the light. I thought bhoot will get upset, so I didn't open the light, but I was clearly hearing the sound of the shoes, tip top of the shoes. I was listening sound. In front of my door it came also, and in front of my window there was a shadow. There was a clear-cut shadow in front of the window. I don't know who was he. He was peeping. I saw his 5 fingers also. It was big fingers are there. It did like this, and it was trying to see me. Acha? Yes. I hid myself, and ultimately it went away. The sound went away. But I could not sleep. I was frozen with fear. I thought, oh my God, I was chanting Lord's name, Hanuman Chalisa, I forgot, out of fear. So instead of Hanuman Chalisa, I started chanting Guru Stotra. I started with Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj. Then I said Gyan, Chaitanya, Shashvata, everything got confused. It was real, something was real. I am telling you, Don't understand, don't think I was imagining, it was something there. And therefore, morning I got up and I saw that if any footprints are still there. I was trying to see that footprints was there, but I didn't see much. And I saw the window, if any kind of fingerprint is there. I couldn't see anything, but something was there. So I am searching, still I am searching where he has gone, what route he came, where he came, and I'm quite afraid. Now the other person is asking that who you search where he is first you find out is there something like that existing or not here in the ashram. Well, no, it was there. Okay, I saw. Then he took to the point and saw that there was a people leaf. That leaf was fluttering here and there. And that leaf, see the leaf, this is there. This must have gone up and it was doing like that and making some sound and flutter sound was there. Then you got clarity. No, it was not the logos, but it was the leaf only. Now, when this Purva Paksh is asking the question about the world, that how where from world had come, how long it is, what was the time it came, here Vidyaranya Swami says, before you are asking this question, I have the question regarding your question. I have a question mark on your question because from my side, the imaginary Maya cannot create the real world. And why the Maya imaginary, please understand, because it is a power. If any creation is there, there has to be power. I am speaking because there is a power of speaking. You are walking because there is a power of walking. You are seeing because there is a power of seeing. And remember one thing, power cannot be different than the one on which it is seen. Power is not an independent entity. Any power is based on the powerful only. And therefore, my power of speaking is superimposed on the consciousness. But the consciousness is already complete. It cannot accommodate power. That means power must be superimposed in Mitya on the powerful Chaitanya. And therefore, Maya also is a power on the consciousness without changing the consciousness. And therefore, Maya cannot be real. And therefore, Maya will be Mithya. Anything which is Mithya has perceptibility but no real cause. Because for real cause, the consciousness should modify and give birth to Maya. But consciousness has not modified and not given birth to Maya, but Maya is seen. Therefore, Maya is Mithya. Maya is anirvachaniya. Maya is chamatkriti. So I have a question on the cause. Your cause of the world itself is false. And therefore, how can the world be true? How you are asking the questions about the world? I hope you are understanding this point. And therefore he says here, 137 verse, Chodhyani. Chodhyani means questions. Jagad vastutva vadishu prasaranti. His questions are asked there. But na chodhaniyam mayayaham. Regarding the Maya, there should not be much questions asked. Why? Tasyaha cha chodhyaik rupata. That itself is of the nature of question. That itself is a doubtful thing. So don't ask a real question from an imaginary thing. From imaginary aspect, don't ask real questions. Real questions are not possible. Only, I don't know. It is just like that, Somebody saw the snake on the rope. And now he is saying, how did the snake took birth? And how long snake was there? Real answers cannot be there about the question, about the snake, because that snake was a false snake. And supposing you ask a question, okay, that false snake was there, and that means it is because of my ignorance of the rope I saw the snake. Now you are asking a question, how did ignorance come? Now you are again asking a wrong question, because ignorance cannot be born out of something. Because ignorance can be born only out of Maya, out of knowledge. From knowledge, ignorance cannot come. Therefore, regarding the question of ignorance, that where ignorance came, why I was ignorant of this, these things are not a right question. So this is itself is a question mark on your question itself. I hope you are understanding this. And therefore, in this world, things are very indescribable after a point. After a time being, everything, all logic collapses. I will show you. And therefore, don't say why his nature is like that. His nature is like that only. Because the cause of that nature is ignorance. So he cannot change. He can change if he wants, but don't ask why his nature is like that. Why he is talking like that. Why he thinks like that. It is his nature. He Maya ka roop hi hai. Better ask how to take away the nature rather than asking the cause of that. Maya, the ignorance can be removed, but you cannot find the source of that. You cannot put logical questions on illogical thing. You can't have the questions because it is anirvachनीय. Moment you ask a question, that means you are wanting the cause of that. Real cause of the imaginary thing I am wanting. What time the dream started? You are asking them. Where did the dream start? What time start? Who was the first person in the dream? I want the first person who was born in the dream. Tell me, all these questions are false because your dream itself is false. I cannot give you the right answer. So don't have such inquiry because your question itself is under question. Now let us see the next verse, 138 verse. I hope you are understanding this. Chodyepi yadi chodyam sya tvachodye chodyate maya pariharyam tataschodyam na punah pratichodyatam. 138 verses there. It is said here, Chodya. So, if you keep on asking a question, then I will ask a question to your question. Chodye api yadi chodyam syat tvat chodye chodyate maya. That means on your question I will have a question. Any question about the world, if you ask, especially about its cause, especially about its origin of the world, especially about that agyan of the world. So I will have a question about its existence itself. So first prove existence, then I will ask a question. First prove its existence, because of imaginary thing, in imaginary thing, anything you can imagine. Because the very source of which is imagination, because Maya itself is an fictitious entity, after that imagination after imagination will be there in that. He is my father, she is my mother, I am working a lot. All these are not why I think like that? Because why I think like that, then you have to understand that. Because ignorance is there. And from ignorance you are making yourself doer, enjoyer, sad, happy. I am worried because of your ignorance only. If you had no ignorance, this question will not be there. So, don't ask the answer from the world of your ignorance area. If the ignorance is the cause, don't go to the cause of ignorance. Instead of removing the ignorance, you are trying to find a real answer to an imaginary question. To imaginary question, you cannot have a real answer. I hope you are understanding that. So you don't try to get lot of answers about the cause of the world. You can have the world why I am fever. You can get answer. You have fever because of the cold today. Or why I am feeling tired? Because you didn't sleep well, therefore you are feeling tired. Or maybe something may be bothering you, therefore you are tired. Or maybe your energy level is less. Your B12 is less, so vitamin D is less, therefore you are tired. Or maybe you are diabetic, and because of diabetes today, yesterday you had sweets, 5 laddus you had, and therefore, because you say Panch Mahabhut, Panch Pran, Panch Klesh, so I have 5 laddus corresponding to each Klesh. So, and therefore I think my diabetes has shot up today, therefore I feel tired. I feel little exhausted, I feel run down. Because of the diabetic has picked up today. It has. Anita is smiling. Because क्या करें भाई? खा लो, अरे मरना तो है ही है, खा पी के मरो यार. Anyway, you have to die, eat and die. वाड़ी क्या diabetes वगैरह क्या? I had lot of rice and I had chapati, I had naan, not naan, non. All these are, you have taken heavy carbo and therefore your diabetes will definitely shoot up. It will cross 200 and 250 will be there. And therefore you are sinking today. See, such questions you can answer. Which is the question regarding the body you can answer. Question regarding element you can answer. Question regarding certain thing. But why I had this disease? No, you had this disease because of prarabdha. But why I had prarabdha? Prarabdha was because of action. But why I did the action? You did action because you were careless. Why you were careless? Because I didn't know all this. Why did not know? I did not know because nobody told me. Why they did not tell me? If you ask the question, ultimately you will land up in the area of ignorance, and therefore that does not have any validity, that question, because you are thinking there is a real cost to the worldly questions. To the ignorance, because you think there is a real cause, therefore you are not thinking it was superimposed, and therefore you are asking you wanting a cause for your ignorance ultimately. And therefore I will put a question that is there something like that world, what you are asking? It was just your imagination. So chodyapyadi chodyam sat, if you put my question, you put your question, and on your question I will have my question. And therefore, what shall I do? Tataha chodyam pariharya. Please leave all your questions. Na punaha prati chodyatam. And don't ask any counter question to me because of the reasons that I gave to you. I hope you are understanding these points. It may not sound little puzzling, but you will understand. Acha, Yes. So don't ask such questions, this is my sixth birth. This is my, the astrologer has said, Swami, this is my sixth birth. They tell to me, astrologer has said, this is my sixth birth. And he said after two births, I said, what was the first birth? Well, if first birth was there at a particular, how were you born first then? How come Jeev has been born all of a sudden? Any lottery system was there? A chit system was there in the God? How did the Jeev started then? A new Jeev started. New car we can understand, new house understand, but new Jeev started, fresh Jeev. Up that Jeev is getting prarabdha now. Fresh Jeev is getting prarabdha without karma. Because Jeev has come, he has taken a body, body's prarabdha. So you are saying, I am the sixth birth. You are such a foolish person, I did not understand that. How can the first birth be there? Because first birth requires you have body, you will have prarabdha without action, and that is illogical point. Akrit abhyagam will be there. You are getting the phal for which you have not worked. So don't, well, I don't have first birth. You, chalo sixth nahi, I can make it 100th. 100 hoga hi nahi. Same logic will be there in that question. One person, India went to take his pension. So the person said, but you are dead. As per my record, you are no more. How can we give pension to the dead person? And somewhere to the dead person, pension is coming still. Interesting things are there. These government departments are so, what shall I say, slack or lazy or careless. The dead person is getting the pension, the live person is mentioned as a dead person. Kamal hai. When did Ishwar made the Srishti? When you are asking a question, which question is false because about which you are asking, that existence itself is not there. How can I give you the answer? Now he says in 139 verse, Vismayayika shariraya Maya shodhya rupataha Anveshah pariharosyaha Buddhi madbhih prayatnataha. बोले भाई मायायाः विस्मयैक शरीरायाः. Maya is very wonderful in its nature. Wonderful means it's bewildering. It's a kind of thing where here wonderful doesn't mean something very great. Wonderful means anirvachaniyam. You cannot describe, but it is there. Indescribable is there. अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ, विस्मयिक शरीर आया. इतना ब्रह्मांड बन गया, कोई कारण ही नहीं इसका. बताओ. Such a big cosmos is there is no real reason why it is made. Why, when, how, our favorite questions. What is it? Anybody will see you, bole, how old are you? Who was your father? Where you work? Anybody lives here, your relative, or you are alone? No, I live here. So you live here? Yes. Where you live? I live in Port Shepton. Oh, you come from there every day? Ah, that means 2 hours it takes from there. Yes, I live there. Mount Edgecombe you live? No, it is that side. Okay. You work? Yes. What is your work? I work as engineer. Which? In plant. Which garden? No, not that plant. It is a plant. Sessile I work, sessile, not plant. Okay. Who is living with you? Some people ask too many questions. So, no, I live with my family members. You are married? Yes. Don't ask me. How many children you have? I have 2 children. One son, one daughter. How old is the son? Son is 12, daughter is 9. Okay. Son is 12, daughter is 9. Okay. All these questions you are asking. Whole Kundali you have taken. So, you have all the questions about the one. You can ask the question. But the problem here is you cannot ask a question about something which is not there. These questions are valid. Because something finite things are there, I am asking a question. But a time will come where you cannot have a question because it is indescribable. So, Vismayik of the nature of wonder. I hope you are understanding. Vismay ek shariraya. How this Brahmand came? Lo, ye question kahan se aa? Who created Brahmand? What is the... People ask this question, they think it's a very intelligent question and we have no answer. How this world came? That means you are thinking world was not there and it came. How this world came? Why did God made so many human beings? Why population explosion is there, therefore where from more jivas are coming? My question is how come now more jivas are there? All these questions is only of the nature of mithyatva, vismayika shariraya. And therefore I always say one thing, people don't like it, but I'll say that any institution, any organization, any limitation which is mithya will have to disintegrate and disappear. People don't like my point, but I always say that. Whether it is the house, whether family, whether Brahman, whether institution, whether earth, because it is mithya. Mithya's nature is to appear and disappear. It is not that, and you cannot firmly say, Mayayaha chodya rupatah. Dekho kya question hai. Chodya rupatah is that Maya itself is of the nature of question mark. Chodya rupatah means it is of the nature of doubt, whether really this is there. It is there. Because it is Maya itself is false, because it is a false entity on the consciousness. And on the consciousness, false entity called Maya is there, and Maya is projecting the world on itself. And you want a true answer of the false question. And therefore, asyaha pariharo anveshya. So he should, pariharo. Pariharo means you should get out of it, remove it. How? Anveshya, after intelligently investigating about it, try to negate it. Buddhi madbihi, if you are wise. Prayatnataha means using the right praman. Using the right means of knowledge. You should remove this from your mind. The reality of it should be removed from the mind. I see, like we have many powers. I have a power of talking, power of listening, power of walking, power of eating, power of holding, power of thinking, power of memorizing, power of, remembering. All these powers are on consciousness. And how can power be in the consciousness? because consciousness can't modify. And all power are making their own world. Eyes are seeing, ears are hearing, mouth is talking, feet is walking. Now you tell me, from that false power, how can the real talking, real walking, real holding, real seeing, real thinking can be there? Because this power itself is false. Like in me, the consciousness or powers are false, and all functions cannot be real. Similarly, at the cosmic level also, because Maya is indescribable, and therefore it cannot give you the real world. Okay. ठीक है ना? This is 139th verse. I hope you are understanding this point. And therefore don't try to find out why that person is like that. Why? Why he doesn't understand? Why? I have told him so many times, but still he is not changing. Wee bit he has not changed. Bees have changed, but he has not changed. Wee bit also. I have changed by changing him. In an effort to change him, I got changed. But he has not changed. He is the same person. ये ज्ञान है. उसको हम चेंज करके रहेंगे. तुम पागल हो नहीं रहो. तुम चेंज कर लो अपने आप को. तुम्हारी बुद्धि खत्म हो जाएगी. थोड़ी सी है. मायात्वेम निश्चयम. When anybody's buddhi, he has to get disturbed, he starts changing somebody. If your mind has to get disturbed or it has lost its senses, you start changing someone. You can explain if you want, but don't have insistence that he will change or he will become very divine soul. ये सब कुछ नहीं होगा. Don't ask this question, why world is like that, why people don't understand, why God is not doing anything. Don't ask such questions about the world. Don't have such kind of false inquiries about which there is no real answer. Because your question is based on wrong hypothesis of the reality of something false. Like I asked that when did the snake was born? All these things. When did the film was born in the screen? When was the film born in the screen? We will have birthday of the film. So these questions are not very great. Maya tvameva nischayam iti chetarhi nischinu लोक प्रसिद्ध मायायाः यत्तदीक्ष्यत लक्षणं यत्तदीक्ष्यताम्. So mayatvam eva. So nischayam. So the Maya nature has nischayam. Iti chet tarhi nischanu. Now Purva Pakshi is saying, I should understand the Maya nature. I have not understood properly. So answer is given, then you, iti chet nischanu. Definitely understand if you want to understand. So Maya tvameva nischayam is inverted comma. Then second line. Loka prasiddha mayayaha lakshanam yatta dikshatam. That Maya which is lok prasiddha, which is known, its lakshan should be known. Understand that. I don't understand what you are talking. Why? Because I only understand something is sat or something is asat. I don't understand something is different than sat and asat. And therefore I doubt what you are saying. Because in the world, either we use the word something is there or something is not there. We never use the word sat, asat, vilakshan in the world. So answer is given, see, What liberates is the meaning of the word, not the word. What we see is the meaning of the word, not the word. Word does not liberate. It is the meaning of the word that liberates. Gurudev, it is said, asked upon Maharaj, when self is beyond on words, why you are talking on that so much? So the one Maharaj said, we'll give the answer later on. After a few days, he said, please get me water to drink. So he brought a water in a lota. Then he shouted. He said, I asked you water. Why did you bring the lota? When I ask you water, then why are you bringing the vessel? He said, but how can I bring the water without the vessel? You can leave the vessel after drinking the water. But as long as you have to drink the water, you have to have the lota and the vessel. At that time, glasses were not there popular. So he said, this is what I want to say. I am using the word Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, etc. It is the vessel, but real meaning is the consciousness only. You may leave the word later on, but always see the meaning of the word and not the word. So when it is said, Sat, in the world, Sat, Asat, Virakshan word is not used. Only you are using that. Only yes, they don't use it, but they use the meaning of the word. By which meaning of the word they use? By using the word Mitya and false. They don't use that. This is a technical word. But you use the word that dream was false. What do you mean by dream was false? I mean that dream was seen, but there was no cause. It cannot be, neither it was Sat, neither it was Asat. Neither dream you can say it was Sat because it got over. Neither you can say it was Asat because it was experience. Something is experienced, but it is not worth holding. It is not there still for a long time. I call it the Mithya word. I call the false word. So I use the word false in the world with this reference, something which is experienceable, but it is not there after some time. Then I use the word magic or I use the word Mithya for that. I don't use the word Sat and Asat, Vilakshan. But I use the word like this. This is said here. Don't hold to the word. Hold to the meaning of the word. Let us now see 141st Shlok. Bole, today will complete or what? Okay. Time is over. So we will see more in our next class. When is the next class? Next class about Panchadashi will be told when it is. Don't worry about it. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.